I call this meeting of the Mexico City Council to order. And before we begin, for those of you who are tuning in at home or listening on the TV, we have one of our members on Zoom tonight that is perfectly legal to do. So I think you will be able to see him also on the screen. Mr. Weber is joining us that way. Roll call.
Briggs?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Williams? Miller?
Yes.
Haig?
Yes.
Could I have approval of minutes, please?
So moved.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Haig?
Abstain.
Okay, under new business, which requires, we have one ordinance, 2 readings by title only and passage. Mr. Schlegel is ill this evening, so Mr. Haynes is taking his place. So would you fill us in on this bill,
Yes,
please?
be glad to, Your Honor. City Council approved by ordinance number 3449, establishing an urban homesteading program on March 26, 1990. The program was developed to encourage residential development and increase the tax base by offering lots owned by the City of Mexico for sale. The Mexico Urban Homesteading Program was designed to provide an opportunity for individuals to own a home and to increase the assessed valuation of the community by encouraging residential development on idle public property. The program included 9 tracts of property. Edward and Shirley Winter purchased Tract 9 through the program on November 2, 1998. However, the tract was not released from the program. Mr. and Mrs. Winter are interested in selling the piece of property, and the Audrain County Abstract Company is requiring that the City of Mexico release Tract 9 from the Urban Homesteading Program by ordinance. Staff does recommend that council proceed by 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance releasing the property from the Mexico Urban Homesteading Program.
I move for reading of bill number...
So what was said is releasing why has the tract not been released? So it wasn't set up when they set up the homesteading that...
There could have, we're guessing to some extent because it was so many years ago. It could have been that the warranty deed was never prepared. It could have been that the warranty deed was prepared but was not recorded. When we prepare a warranty deed as the city, we do not record it for the purchaser. So that would be a couple of possibilities.
I move for reading of bill number 2024-01.
Second.
Haig?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Bill number 2024-01, an ordinance releasing property from the Mexico Urban Homestead Program. I move for the second reading of bill number 2024-1.
Second.
Haig?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Bill number 2024-01, an ordinance releasing property from the Mexico Urban Homestead Program. I move for passage of bill number 2024-01.
Second.
Haig?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 5, new business, we have 2 resolutions. Resolutions require 1 reading by title only and passage. First is bill number 2024-02. It has to do with our refuge services. Mr. Haynes.
Yes, Mayor. In April of 2014, the city began a 10-year residential sanitation services contract with Danes Waste Disposal Incorporated, with the final year of the contract being April 1 of 2023 through March 31st of 2024. This past August, the City of Mexico advertised a request proposal for a 10-year exclusive contract for the collection, processing, and disposal of residential solid waste for the period beginning April 1, 2024 and ending March 31st, 2034. The request for proposal was advertised in the Mexico Ledger, on the city's website, and sent directly to 4 refuse collection service companies that indicated interest in providing a proposal. We sent those to Dane's Waste Disposal out of here in Mexico, Meridian Waste, Forestell, Missouri, Republic Services, Jefferson City, and T-Max Solid Waste and Roll-Off Services in Columbia. The city received only one proposal, and that was from Dane's Waste Disposal Incorporated of Mexico, Missouri, the city's current residential refuse service provider. Given the exceptional service provided to the City of Mexico by Dane's Waste Disposal Incorporated over the past 20 years and pricing schedule offered, staff does recommend that council accept the proposal from Dane's Waste Disposal Incorporated and proceed with reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an exclusive 10-year residential refuse services contract between the City of Mexico and Dane's Waste Disposal Incorporated for the period to begin April 1, 2024 and end on March 31st, 2034. Just for council's information, the current rate that we're paying Dane for the contract year we are in right now, we're paying $9.29. The first year of this new 10-year contract would start at $11.35. That would be about a $2.06 increase over the year we're currently rate we're paying right now. I did also, in looking at the rate that he was proposing, went ahead and surveyed 14 other communities to see what they're currently charging for residential trash service pickup, and the average was $17.28. $17.28. Now, Dane's rate of the $11.35 is not going to be the total rate that we charge for those services. I'll be coming back in probably February with that proposal. But I can assure council that we will still be at least a couple dollars less per month than the average rate being charged by other residential services provided in other communities at this time. Another thing that I did in review is I went back 10 years ago and looked at the bids that were provided in 2014, and the next lowest bid, if we were looking at their rate today, that we've been paying with them, it would have been $13.78. So although we're seeing a $2.06 increase, it is still a good price compared to what we're seeing offered by other service providers.
Well, the nice thing is, we've got someone we already know who's serving us now and doing a good job. Since that was our only bid, I don't know that we could complain too much, so.
Is a 10-year contract mandatory?
We did put in there a 5 to a 10-year, and what was bid was the 10-year.
Okay. Because I know we adjusted, was it 2 years ago? He came to us and said landfill was going up, and
Yeah, we've made 2 adjustments that I can recall over the last 20 years. One was a fuel adjustment pricing when fuel got fairly high back in 10 years ago. And then when his landfill contract expired, there was a substantial jump and he came back to council for an adjustment. Within the current contract wording, there is a stipulation that renegotiations are available as long as it is an equitable request.
yeah, because I mean, he does a great job for us, and I just, be fair to him as well. So, within that, I agree.
Have a motion?
I move for first reading bill number
Hey, can I
20.
ask you a question?
Sure.
May I ask you a question?
We hear you.
Go.
Okay. This is a general question, not necessarily related, just sort of long time ago, Chris, remember, and I don't know if anybody else will or not, we had recycling service in Mexico, and pick up recycling at the curb like we do trash. And we had that for a long time. I know we take things to the handy shop, but they don't take everything by any means, and I understand why. But has that been thought about, discussed with Dane or with anybody fairly recently in the last few years also?
I would say within the last few years, yes. What we call a few years, it may be closer to a decade ago. And when we had a survey on this, out of our 4,300 customers. We only had 112 that were interested in it. And the only way that one of the providers would do this, whether it be Republic or Meriden or Danes, is if it's kind of an all or nothing.
Gotcha.
So everybody would have to do it and be charged for it, whether they were using it or not.
Understand. Yeah, I don't recycle, but I would. But I don't want to sort what can go locally and then the rest of it to Columbia or wherever it needs to go and do all this stuff. I feel all the pressure. It's unfortunate and maybe me being lazy, but that's why I asked the question.
I think it became, we discussed it, it was especially the handy shop, because they're only taking cardboard, right? But they cut down on some of that.
Yeah, they don't
because-
take glass or things like
Yeah,
that
because
anymore.
because it was so expensive.
It was
not
non-profitable.
cost-effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. I move for first reading of bill number 2024-02.
Second.
Did you already move? Yeah, I think you already did the motion.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2024-02, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute a refuge service contract with Danes Waste Disposal Incorporated of Mexico, Missouri, to provide collection, processing, and disposal of residential solid waste. I move for passage of bill number 2024-02.
Second.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is bill number 2024-03. It's a resolution authorizing city manager to enter the termination of water service agreement. Mr., you're going to have to explain this a little bit.
Sure,
to us.
absolutely. This water termination agreement is really nothing new other than the pricing. We've had an agreement with the water companies for the past 30 years. The attached resolution does authorize the city manager to enter into a termination of water agreement, service agreement with Missouri American Water Company. This agreement replaces an agreement that was entered into in May of 2012, whereas Missouri American Water was a successor of an agreement between Missouri City's Water Company and the City of Mexico. This agreement authorized Missouri American Water Company, at the request and direction of the City of Mexico, pursuant to State Statute 393.015, the ability to request termination of water service and discontinue the supply of water from its system to any premises at which sewer bills for service supplied by this city are unpaid. Having such an agreement executed provides the city an effective tool in collecting of delinquent sewer accounts in lieu of property liens and direct disconnects of sewer lines to the city's collection system. This agreement would become effective March 1, 2024. The new agreement includes an increase of fees charged to the City of Mexico for water termination and reconnection. The previous fee structure was $28.58 per metered connection for termination or restoration of water service, whereas the new fee structure will be $94 per metered connection for termination or restoration of water service during normal business hours and $188 per metered connection for restoration of water service after hours. Like the previous agreement, Missouri American Water Company can request of the City of Mexico recovery of estimated lost revenue while the water service is disconnected. All costs charged by Missouri American Water to the City of Mexico, as stipulated within the agreement, will be applied to the respective delinquent sewer account. As we mentioned, Missouri American Water does have the ability to come back and ask for recovery of estimated lost revenue. They have not done so in the last agreement, so hopefully that will stay in place. Staff does recommend that council proceed with reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Missouri American Water Company. Be glad to answer any
I worked
questions.
a little bit when I saw termination water service agreement. Then I read more about it.
We've done this before.
It was a little shocking to read that, but I now get it. Okay.
Look, on this recovery,
Reading by title only of bill number 2024-03.
We have a question. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
We have a question.
on the recovery of this, It says they can recover lost revenue. How far can they recover lost revenue?
Whatever the PSC would allow.
Well,
Public Service
if we would
Commission.
have a big facility in town here that we disconnect our sewer, can they get us for a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, forever?
Well, if it ended up accumulating to a substantial amount, we would probably go the other routes and file a lien.
File a lien against nothing?
Or dig up the services to that particular business.
Okay.
Go ahead, Larry.
Are you ready for the reading of the title only?
Yeah.
Second. Yeah, and I'll second that.
I'll still move that we're ready for that.
Red.
Hold on, we're gonna vote.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bill 2024-03, a resolution authorizing city manager to enter into a termination of water service agreement with Missouri American Water Company. Hoover, Essex, Bill 2024-03.
Second.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to other business. We have appointments to the Mexico Airport Advisory Board. Mr. Haynes.
Yes, we do have 2 positions for 3-year terms that have expired. Steve Hagan and David Taylor's terms expired October of '23 for the board. Each have expressed interest in serving an additional 3-year term. Staff has not received any other applications expressing interest in serving on this board. Staff does recommend that council make the necessary appointments to the Mexico Airport Advisory Board.
I move we appoint David Taylor and Steve Hagan to the Mexico Advisory Board for a 3-year term.
Second.
Haig,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Okay. Then the next thing on the agenda is the claims. I need a motion to pay the claims.
Move to
Move to pay the claims.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Okay, now getting here, council, let's see, okay, we have council comments, council comments next. Steve, you want to talk first?
Just hope everybody had a good Christmas and New Year's and got rested up and ready to go into 2024. That's about all I have.
Okay, well, I think we'll try and get out of here real quick, so just be careful driving tonight, and it looks like we're finally getting the winter we've been missing for about 2 years, so it looks like it's coming again on Friday, so be careful driving.
Me? Just enjoy the snow. We're just living the dream right here in Mexico, Missouri.
And Roger.
Nothing additional to add.
Oh, and me next. Oh, Larry, yeah, sorry.
That's all right, no problem. Yeah,
Go on.
I don't have anything real deep. I just want to say publicly that, when I raised with the council on this a couple of times, how I was going to work this winter thing out, and I said, you've got to look at it first before you worry about that. And fortunately, I suppose I was elected, and so I do want to apologize for not being at some of these meetings, but I do plan to solve that problem, rectify that problem for next year. I do plan to sell a place here, so I'll be around there. And so I just wanted to say that publicly, so I don't think I had. That's my plan.
Okay, thank you, Larry. Good luck in selling your property then.
Wear your sunscreen.
Do what?
Wear your sunscreen.
Well, I haven't needed it the last few days.
Okay.
All right, it's now time for public comments. If you wish to address the council, please step forward, state your name, state your address, and you have 3 minutes. And does anybody want to do that?
I move we adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weber, Miller,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.